Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and welcome, Director Clancy. I recently co-founded a bipartisan caucus on, it's a congressional task force to combat identity theft and fraud. And you know the seriousness of all this, both in your public and private sector experience. It can happen on the individual scale, a larger scale, affecting corporations, businesses, individuals, the public sector. And it's something that we need to take quite seriously, and I know you know that. How will the proposed budget assist the Secret Service? And I look particularly at your testimony here about the Electronic Crimes Special Agent Program.
Yes.
And how will the budget assist the Secret Service to help prevent and investigate cyber crimes and data breaches? And is the need primarily staff, or is it new technologies, that kind of thing, right, that you need?
Thank you for the question, Congressman. It starts with staffing, and our field offices are down considerably at this point because we've had to move a number of our field office agents to our protective mission. But what we do have in the field is we have 37 electronic crimes task forces throughout our country, and we have 2 overseas in London and in Rome. We take this very seriously, obviously the cyber crimes that are out there, and the identity theft that's out there, but we're also partnering with our local and state law enforcement officials to the point where we also have a National Computer Forensics Institute down in Alabama that we train a lot of these law enforcement officials as well as judges as well, so that they can go back into their communities and use this expertise that they've learned and take the equipment that we provide for them to work these types of cases in their communities.
In your testimony as well, you state the Secret Service is working with state and local partners on this. Can you elaborate on this, and how does the Secret Service work with other agencies to protect private citizens? And then do you do reviews and follow-up of your investigations, and from there you find out maybe shortcomings and maybe successes and needs with the real analytics on this? And then from there, do you how can we help you in terms of maybe even authorizing legislation, although we are the Appropriations Committee?
Right. Right now, again, through the Electronic Crimes Task Force, that's where we really partner with our law enforcement, with our community, state and local authorities. During this, for example, during this campaign year, a lot of folks think that our investigations may get pushed to the wayside, but the beauty of these electronic crimes task forces, where we have the locals and states working with us, as well as the private sector, that if our agents get pulled out to do a protective assignment, those cases continue on. They're not dormant. They're not being put aside. So we continue to work those, and we do look at the metrics. And our staff can get with yours and give you a better idea of what those metrics are in terms of the number of cases closed in your community, for example, and the amount of arrests made in your community.
And with the new technologies and the new scams and hucksters out there trying to steal identity and commit these frauds, you're seeing this growing, and what are your roots into this community?
Yes, well, you're exactly right. You know, these cyber criminals today, they run it like a business. They don't just take their spoils from their crime and spend it. They reinvest it in their criminal enterprise, and we have to evolve and improve our techniques as well. And that's where this continuing education for our investigators and the work with the private sector and trying to keep up with the new technology. We have a representative out at Carnegie Mellon to study the newest technology out there. We're out at Tulsa University studying the wireless mobile new technology that's out there. So we're trying to continue to educate our folks, too, as we move forward.
Well, thank you for coming here today. In our bipartisan task force, I'm sure we'll take you up on your offer for briefings and sharing information on how we can work together to do this. So I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Price.